Hello there, I'm Nadia Azmi and this is Nightline. Let's take a look at the top stories. Government to consider flight ticket subsidies for tertiary students. And National Fatwa Council to discuss Emirates Astronomical's Aidilfitri date prediction. Good morning. We begin with this story. Petronas confirmed that a gas leak incident had occurred at the Bekok A platform offshore Terengganu at approximately 2:45 a.m. on Tuesday. The company's emergency response team had also been mobilized to contain the situation. A statement issued by the group's media communications unit said Petronas Cari Gali Sendirian Berhad, PCSB, had evacuated all personnel from the platform as a safety measure. The PCSB had also suspended operations at the Bekok A platform until further notice and is closely monitoring the situation. The company also gave its assurance that the safety of its personnel remains an utmost priority. All relevant authorities have also been notified and an investigation into the incident is currently underway. The government is willing to consider flight ticket subsidies for tertiary students flying between the peninsula as well as Sabah and Sarawak. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim said the government understands the burden faced by students with regard to the cost of airfares, especially for those who wanted to return to their hometowns during the festive break.
Ini keluar daripada skop kerajaan, melainkan kena bagi subsidi ya. Subsidi tiket ni. Untuk students ni make sense lah. Mungkin kita kena runding dengan syarikat penerbangan. Kalau ada rekod umpamanya, dia ada certificate student, mungkin setahun sekali, maka dia berikan, boleh saya bincang dengan Menteri Pengangkutan Anthony Lee.
Datuk Seri Anwar said this during a dialogue session with University Technology Mara, UiTM Student Representative Council, held at its main campus in Shah Alam on Friday. He was responding to a question by a student on whether the government has plans to introduce cheaper flight tickets, given that airfares from Sabah and Sarawak were priced exorbitantly at times. The Prime Minister said he accepted this as a problem that plagues students, as not all of them can afford to purchase flight tickets to return home, especially those from Sabah and Sarawak. Also present at the event were Higher Education Minister Datuk Seri Muhammad Khalid Nordin and UiTM Board of Directors Chairman Professor Emeritus Datuk Dr. Radwan Che Rose. Previously, Transport Minister Anthony Luke said the government is looking to ease the burden of tertiary students flying between the peninsula to East Malaysia by providing a credit fund to be used to book flight tickets. He also said that the government will continue to push for more flights to be made available for students to fly during the period. Meanwhile, Datuk Seri Anwar said the government has extended the 2023 e-wallet aid to all eligible university students in the country.
Yang berikutnya tentang e-wallet, dia tak termasuk. Okey, saya akan putuskan supaya e-wallet itu boleh dimanfaatkan oleh semua mahasiswa.
He said this in response to a question by a student representative on whether the e-wallet initiative can be expanded to students aged between 21 and 23. During the tabling of the 2023 budget in February, Datuk Seri Anwar, who is also Finance Minister, announced that the e-wallet worth RM200 would be extended to Malaysian youth aged between 18 and 20. On another matter, the Prime Minister stressed that it was not apt for the Universities and University Colleges Act 1971 or AUKU to be repealed, but it could be amended if necessary. He said the Higher Education Ministry will be holding several programs immediately to ensure smooth internet access in all campuses throughout the country. At the same event, Datuk Seri Anwar said he will provide evidence that Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad had exploited his position to enrich his family when he was in power. This was in response to the former Prime Minister's demand on March 28th for Datuk Seri Anwar to retract his statement and issue a written apology on the matter within 7 days.
Saya tak nak gaduh. Tapi jawab, saya jawab. Dia minta bukti, saya akan bagi bukti. No problem.
Datuk Seri Anwar, who is also PKR president, said this after a participant at the dialogue session had asked him about his next course of action following the letter of demand sent by Tun Dr. Mahathir. Although he acknowledged that Tun Dr. Mahathir had contributed to Malaysia's development, he maintained that the former Prime Minister had also done some damage to the country, particularly in creating a negative perception towards the Malays. Previously, the former Langkawi MP, who is the country's longest-serving Prime Minister, had described the statement made by Datuk Seri Anwar during the PKR Special Congress on March 18th as defamatory. On Tuesday, Datuk Seri Anwar's lawyers said they will respond to the letter of demand by April 17th. Later in the day, Datuk Seri Anwar broke fast with about 1,000 leaders and members in the unity government at Sri Perdana in Putrajaya. Among leaders and party members present were from Barisan Nasional, DAP, Warisan Muda, Parti Bangsa Malaysia and Parti Bersatu Rakyat Sabah. Also present was his wife, Datuk Seri Dr. Wan Azizah Wan Ismail, Parti Bersatu Rakyat Sabah President Datuk Arthur Joseph Kurup, MCA Vice President Datuk Lim Pan Hong and MIC Vice President Datuk T. Murugia. After breaking fast, the Prime Minister spent time mingling with community members who were also present before performing Maghrib, Isha and Tarawih prayers. The Tazkirah Ramadan was presented by College Dar Al-Hikmah President Professor Dato Dr. Muhammad Nur Manuti. Al-Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah called on Muslims to have the desire to stay united, despite having differing opinions, as this characteristic will enable them, the state and the nation, to advance. The Yang di-Pertuan Agong said Muslims should not be bigoted, that they cannot tolerate the opinion of others and cause factions in the mosque. Al-Sultan Abdullah, in delivering his royal address during the official opening of Ar-Rahmani Jamid Mosque in Kampung Banggol, Kepala Batas in Pulau Pinang on Friday, said the mosque institution must be protected and not be made a political arena for any party or faction.
Jangan cepat beranggapan orang ini puak A, orang ini puak B, orang ini puak C. Ini adalah satu fenomena yang kurang sihat, yang tidak sihat langsung.
His Majesty also expressed hope that the mosque administration under the Pulau Pinang Islamic Religious Council would continue to work on enlivening the mosque so that residents will make good use of the facilities to acquire wisdom and receive blessings from Allah. Also present were Pulau Pinang Yang di-Pertuan Negeri, Tun Ahmad Fuzli Abdul Razak and Deputy Chief Minister Dato' Ahmad Zakiyuddin Abdul Rahman. After signing the inauguration plaque, the King joined the mosque congregation to perform Friday prayers. The Emirates Astronomical Society's prediction report on the date for Aidilfitri will be discussed at the committee level of the National Fatwa Council. Minister in the Prime Minister's Department for Religious Affairs, Datuk Muhammad Naim Mokhtar, said the discussion was timely to prevent a recurrence of last year's abrupt Aidilfitri incident.
Yelah, I mean, di pihak kita cuba elakkan benda tu sebab penentuan bila raya dan sebagainya itu terletak pada kuasa ni kan. Jadi apa yang saya boleh nasihatkan, kita kena bersabarlah, cuma untuk memastikan ni di pihak badan berkuasa negeri kita akan cuba usahakan.
Dato' Naim said this at a media conference after the signing of a memorandum of understanding between the Solid Waste Management and Public Cleaning Corporation and the Federal Territory's Islamic Religious Department, JAWI, to implement a cleanliness program in Putrajaya on Friday. He also asked Muslims to be patient because the determination of dates for Eid rests with the authority of the keeper of the ruler's seal. However, he stressed that there is a method in the conditions that state that responsible government action is based on the public interest. On April 4th, a Middle East news portal reported that the Emirates Astronomical Society had calculated that Aidilfitri would fall on April 21st in the United Arab Emirates. Apart from this, there was also online speculation that this year's Aidilfitri would once again be celebrated a day earlier than expected.
Special EPF withdrawals. Why should contributors avoid this? Running out of funds? what's the remedy for low retirement savings? With lingering global economic uncertainty, how to ensure better EPF dividends for 2023. Money Matters with EPF CEO Datuk Sri Amir Hamzah Azizan this Saturday at 5 p.m. only on TV3.
Application for the Special Teacher Recruitment Program through the Education Service Commission ESC has been opened. Deputy Education Minister Lim Hui Ying said graduates who are interested may apply for the position of Grade DG41 Education Service Officer for 2023, especially for 4 critical subjects, namely Design and Technology, Bahasa Melayu, English and Islamic Education.
Semua yang berminat menjadi guru, okey, atau guru sementara pun boleh, atau graduan-graduan yang dari universiti awam boleh memohon dalam melalui website MySPP itu untuk memohon menjadi guru. Kita harap dengan pengambilan ini boleh mengurangkan kekurangan guru di seluruh negara, terutama daripada mata pelajaran tadi.
Lim spoke to the media after officiating an education exhibition at Sekolah Menengah Jenis Kebangsaan Yuk Choi in Perak on Friday. She added the advertisement will be posted for 2 weeks only until April 21st, and those who have applied before but were unsuccessful may resubmit their application. The special recruitment was introduced as the Education Ministry was reported to be facing a teacher shortage of about 4.49% or 19,431 due to compulsory retirement, optional retirement, promotion, study leave, leave without pay, resignation and death. Melaka opposition leader Dr. Yazil Yaakob has rejected an offer to join the government bloc as part of efforts to strengthen the state's first ever unity government. The Bemban State Assemblyman from Perikatan Nasional said he and Sungai Udang Assemblyman Dr. Muhammad Alif Yusof had decided to remain in the opposition to serve as check and balance to the state government. In a statement on Friday, both assemblymen said the newly formed state unity government should not fear the opposition bloc, which now comprises just 2 representatives. They also posed the question to the Chief Minister on whether the 21-member state government, comprising Executive Council members and Deputy Exco members, will be more efficient and be able to record a multifold increase in revenue for the state without any extra expenditures. Dr. Yazil also claimed the appointment of the Deputy Exco members in a small state government was a waste of money. On Thursday, Melaka Chief Minister Datuk Sri Abdul Rauf Yusof said he hoped that both PN assemblymen could join the newly formed state unity government before the anti-party hopping enactment was tabled in the State Assembly in July. The State UMNO chief also said if the duo agree to join the unity government, Melaka will create history for being the first zero opposition state. The Melaka State Assembly has 28 seats, with 21 belonging to Barisan Nasional, 5 to Pakatan Harapan and 2 to PN. A policeman arrested on suspicion of smuggling firecrackers and fireworks in Kelantan on Tuesday will face stern action. Inspector General of Police Tan Sri Akril Sani Abdullah Sani said besides facing legal action, the policeman will also be subject to internal action for using a police vehicle outside of duty hours to carry out illegal activities. On Tuesday, a policeman with the rank of Lance Corporal was arrested in Machang with a friend while transporting various types of firecrackers and fireworks worth 25,000 ringgit. The suspects, aged 32 and 35, were arrested in a police 4-wheel drive vehicle while carrying out the activity. Tan Sri Akril said both suspects were remanded for 4 days until Saturday to assist investigations. He also urged the public to channel authentic information for police to take action against any wrongdoing or crime. Zionist regime's cruelty continues. More from the foreign front when we come back. Israel intensified airstrikes on the Gaza Strip in Lebanon before dawn on Friday, following a spate of rocket launches, as tensions following police raids on the Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem this week threatened to spiral out of control. The bombardment was launched around 4 a.m. local time, hitting targets including terror infrastructures belonging to the Palestinian group Hamas in southern Lebanon. Besides that, it was reported that 3 Israeli strikes on Lebanon hit an open area in the Tyre region, damaging homes and cars, a livestock pen and other infrastructure. In Gaza, ambulances could be seen pulling up to hospital following the strikes, although any casualties have yet to be confirmed. The escalation in tensions comes amid rising tensions over the storming of the Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem by the Zionist regime, who fired stun grenades, attacked Palestinian worshippers and expelled them from the holy site as they gathered for Ramadan prayers. In Thailand, authorities on Friday urged people in the northern city of Chiang Mai to stay indoors and work from home as air pollution spiked to hazardous levels. The country's air monitoring website IQ Air ranked Chiang Mai as the most polluted major city in the world, ahead of regular hotspots such as Delhi and Lahore. The levels of the most dangerous PM2.5 particles were more than 66 times the World Health Organization's annual guideline. Chiang Mai Provincial Governor Nirat Pongsititavorn issued a statement urging people to stay indoors and work from home to protect themselves and reduce the health impact. Thailand has been choking on a spike in air pollution since the start of the year, caused in part by seasonal agricultural burning. Rescuers were scanning waters of southern Japan after pieces of what appears to be debris from the Ground Self-Defense Force helicopter that went missing on Thursday were found early Friday. The helicopter, which was surveying the local area, went missing Thursday at 3:56 p.m. local time after disappearing from radar screens off the coast of Miyako Island in the southern Japanese prefecture of Okinawa. The helicopter had corresponded with the control tower about 2 minutes before it disappeared, indicating that something went wrong soon after. The Japan Coast Guard retrieved at least 10 pieces of debris, including a large window panel that had GSDF inscribed on it and 2 lifeboats, one of which had a serial number showing it was installed on the missing helicopter. An investigation committee has been set to probe the cause of the incident and halted the operation of the same type of helicopter. Thousands of Burmese people have fled across the border to Thailand to escape a fierce fighting between Myanmar's armed rebel groups and the military since Wednesday. Thai officials said around 3,998 people have fled into Thailand's temporary shelter across 10 areas, adding that some are still waiting on the Myanmar side to cross. This is one of the largest cross-border movements of people since a military coup 2 years ago. The latest fighting broke out after an ethnic armed group, the Karen National Liberation Army (KNLA), and its allies launched attacks on military outposts and a gate camp on Wednesday, killing more than 80 people on both sides. The fighting near the border was concentrated near the town of Myawaddy in southern Karen state, also known as Kayin, bordering Thailand's Tak province. Myanmar was plunged into turmoil when the military seized power from the elected government of Aung San Suu Kyi in February 2021, leading to mass protests and an armed uprising. Taipei on Friday said that China sent warships and aircraft near Taiwan for a second day after President Tsai Ing-wen angered Beijing by meeting with United States House Speaker Kevin McCarthy earlier this week. The country's Ministry of National Defense claimed that 3 Chinese warships sailed in waters surrounding the island, while a fighter jet and an anti-submarine helicopter also crossed the island's air defense identification zone. On Wednesday, China's Shandong aircraft carrier was spotted sailing through Taiwan's southeastern waters on its way to the Eastern Pacific hours before Tsai met McCarthy in Los Angeles. Beijing, which views Taiwan as part of its territory, had repeatedly warned against the meeting and reiterated on Thursday that it would take forceful measures to firmly safeguard national sovereignty.
Para tanto, que a administração
On to sports. Football, the Australian A-League. Central Coast Mariners shook off the Victorian hoodoo as they beat Western United 3-0 in Ballarat, dealing a blow to the host finals hope in the process. Winless in their past 28 matches in Victoria heading to Mars Stadium, first half goals from Jason Cummings and Benny and Clolo set the Mariners on their way to breaking their drought before a late strike from Dylan Wenzel-Halls, who scored with a right-footed shot from the centre of the box, sealed the 3-0 win. With just 3 games remaining in the regular season, the win on Friday ensures the Mariners keep pace with second-place Adelaide in the race for a first-round finals bye, with the two to clash in the last week of the campaign. In another match, Adelaide United's premiership hopes suffered a blow on Friday as they were held to a 1-1 draw at home by Sydney FC. Craig Goodwin put Adelaide in front in the 48th minute before Sydney's Adam Lavonder levelled the contest in the 83rd minute. The scoreline remained till the final whistle, forcing both sides to be satisfied with a share of points. The result meant Adelaide United are now on 41 points, 4 behind leaders Melbourne City, who have a game in hand. For Sydney, the team remained in 6th place on 29 points, 2 ahead of Perth Glory, who faced Melbourne Victory on Sunday. Still to come, actress ordered to pay over 200,000 ringgit for breaching contract. Stay tuned. Of a government-linked company, GLC, were remanded for 4 days by the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, MACC, for allegedly soliciting and accepting bribes amounting to 600,000 ringgit. According to the anti-graft sources, the suspects, aged between 39 and 54, were arrested at the MACC headquarters at around 8 p.m. on Thursday while giving their statements. It was understood that the bribes was to assist a company to obtain a tender related to mechanical and electrical system upgrade works, which are part of a 15 million ringgit project to upgrade a head office building in Jalan Ampang, Kuala Lumpur. The first suspect, who is the 52-year-old CEO, is believed to have received the bribes from a company through the second and third suspects as inducement for helping his company secure the upgrading project. MACC Senior Director for Special Operation, Datuk Tan Kang Sai, confirmed the arrest, and the probe is being conducted under the MACC Act 2009. The Kuala Lumpur Sessions Court on Friday ordered actress Amelia Henderson to pay more than 200,000 ringgit in compensation to AIDA Production Sindran Berhad for breaching a drama series contract last year. Judge Zulkarnain Hassan also ordered the 28-year-old actress to issue a public apology and take down videos containing elements of defamation towards the production company. He made the decision after the court found that Amelia was bound by the signed contract and that rejecting its terms were no longer an option after the document was signed. The court saw 3 plaintiff witnesses, including Dato' A. Aida, as well as 3 defence witnesses, including Emilia, testifying throughout the suit proceedings, which began on November 1st last year. Lawyer Wan Nurliana Abdul Rahman, representing Emilia, said her client would file an appeal against the decision suit. On July 28 last year, A. Aida filed a suit against the breach of contract when Emilia withdrew at the last minute from filming the drama. In Negeri Sembilan, an unemployed man is facing life behind bars after pleading guilty to growing 2 cannabis plants. 58-year-old Rohaizat Abdul Aziz gave the plea after the charge was read to him before Judge Norma Ismail in the Kuala Pilah Sessions Court on Friday. The accused was charged with committing the offence at his house in Kampung Gemetir, Tanjung Ipoh on April 3rd. The charge under the Dangerous Drugs Act provides imprisonment for life and with whipping of not less than 6 strokes upon conviction. The court denied bail for the accused and fixed May 9th for case remention, pending the chemist's report pertaining to the case before deciding on the sentence. A syndicate which supplies illegal immigrants using fake temporary employment visit permits (PLKS), which was believed to have raked in up to 5 million ringgit a year, has been smashed in a 2-day special operation by the Immigration Department since Wednesday. In the operation, 43 men from India, 20 Bangladeshis and 2 Pakistanis, aged between 25 and 45, were detained at a factory and a foreign worker dormitory in Selangor and the syndicate operation office in Brickfields, Kuala Lumpur. Immigration Director General Datuk Ruslin Jusso, in a statement on Friday, said a 45-year-old Indian national was believed to be the syndicate mastermind, while a 30-year-old Bangladeshi man suspected to be a senior syndicate person was arrested in Seremban, Negeri Sembilan. Initial investigations found the Indian man is an authentic expatriate pass holder, while the Bangladeshi uses a PLKS to move freely in the country. The syndicate's modus operandi was to set up a company supplying foreign labour and offering workers to employers, and would charge 6,000 ringgit for each foreign worker who wishes to obtain the PLKS. All those detained were sent to the Semenyih Immigration Depot for further action. And that concludes Nightline this time around. As we wrap up, let's take a look at a massive portrait of Pablo Picasso, painted on a 25,000 square meter wasteland in Veneto, Italy. The masterpiece was painted by an Italian land artist, Dario Gambarin, to mark the 50th anniversary of the death of the Spanish painter. With that, I'm Nadia Azmi. Thank you for tuning in, and to our Muslim viewers, Selamat Bersahur.